So I'm just outside the Africa by Design exhibit that is taking place here at the Ghana Club. So I'm going to head on. Oh, I can't talk today. I'm just outside of the Ghana Club where I'm going to head inside for the Africa by Design exhibit. So head on inside with me.
Founder and co-curator of Africa by Design. Welcome to Africa by Design Accra 2019.
So this is at the Ghana Club. I didn't even know that this place was here until...
It's a bit of a hidden gem, so it's been nice that Africa by Design has helped bring it back to life. Let me take you on a quick little tour. So here are a selection of pieces and they're hand-dyed goat skins from North Nigeria in Kano, copper matter dye pit, which is said to be Africa's oldest indigo dye pit.
Really?
Yeah, established in 1498 and is run by the same family. They're now on their 13th generation of the same family. They hand dye all of their items. You can smell the...
I can smell it.
The natural, naturally dyed. So we have indigo dyed leathers, we have hibiscus dyed leathers, and lots in between. The yellow ones are onion, and it's beautiful work that they do.
This is really, really interesting. So this is done with hibiscus leaves.
Yes, and it's like a tie and dye technique.
And I know hibiscus leaves for making sobolo drinks, or bisap as some people call it.
Yeah.
This is used onion.
Yeah.
Wow, who would have thought you could use wow. I knew there was vegetable dyes, but I never thought about onion.
Yeah.
Hibiscus is believable. Onion I never really thought about before.
And so yeah, lots in between, but they're very beautiful, and each one is different because of the nature of the leather or the intensity of the dye.
Yeah.
And then just below them you see the beautiful spaghetti armchairs by a designer from Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso.
Yes, called Kado Kabure.
Okay. Here's the name.
Yeah.
The designer.
And then this beautiful red stool.
Just get the name of the dye.
This beautiful red stool is by a female Ethiopian designer called Adiskadan Ambaye, and it's called the Ruby Stool.
The ruby stool.
Yes. You see all these intricacies in its mark making. It's based on a traditional Ethiopian stool, but given a contemporary twist, if you like. These are the Takura barrel stools made here in Ghana.
Made in Ghana.
And these are actually real. When you say vintage, this is vintage. The president of the Ghana Club, his father was also a president here at the club, and these are his own personal armchairs from 1930s.
1930s?
Yeah, so we've included them in the exhibition. This is what a durable, sustainable design looks like. And the fact that they've stood the test of time is a very beautiful thing.
Do you know what type of wood this is?
It would be a local wood, but I'm not quite sure of the name, no.
Yeah, that's definitely very well kept because
Yes.
I see some wood nowadays that people use and within months it's already rotting.
Because we don't give wood the patience to let it dry properly, to cure it properly, and then to use it for furniture. Now this is a real tree. When you look from afar, this may look like it's woven, but it's actually digitally printed, but digitally printed after being hand-drawn by a Ghanaian designer called Miles Hayford. And I mean, his work is incredible. Look at the level of detail in there. To think that that is all hand-drawn is just something else.
Wow. And it's Miles Hayford.
Yeah. And there's another one of his creations behind us.
It really looks like it's some hand woven.
Yeah, it does, until you get really close to it and then you see. That's been one of the favorites of the exhibition.
Wow.
Now, this is a collaboration here. I said some of our work falls into environmental design, and environmental design meaning design that considers use of materials and the climate that we're in, as well as sustainability. Hive Earth, who are based here in Ghana, have done a beautiful collaboration with Cult Meraki, also based here in Ghana, and they've created these hollow stools and plinths. This is what I consider evolution of mud hut technology. So creating a material that is breathable and can endure and sustain itself in this climate. So if you look over here, you'll see these beautiful creations which are composed of just 5% of concrete as opposed to full concrete that most of our modern buildings do comprise of. The different colours that you see are the different soils, colour of different soils taken from different parts of Ghana. The terrain that they come from determines their colour, and I just think it's really important to show that there are designers being innovative in their approach. They've actually built a prototype house which shows that you can build low-cost housing solutions for about $15,000. So
the interesting thing about that is a friend of mine and I were talking about that using mud technology to make homes today might be a better solution in Ghana.
Definitely. I mean, look at this old school colonial building that we're in. There is no air conditioning it whatsoever, but there's a beautiful breeze coming through. And I just think that we've adopted, when you look at design, we've not necessarily adopted design that suits our climate in the best way possible. Come and look at this beautiful day.
I love this. Love this.
People have been raving about this.
Love
This
this.
is the Cult Meraki daybed. You can see the beautiful different colours here, using textiles, and it's very comfortable to sit in too.
This is called Meraki.
Yeah, Cult Meraki. And they're a collective of creatives based here in Accra. Some are photographers, some are architects, some are filmmakers, and they're each working as a collective to push themselves in their design creations. Come and look over here and see Michael Tete, who is based in Krobo and is a traditional bead maker. But upon learning how to blow glass and following a trip to the Netherlands, he came back and has incorporated that into his work practice. We have a short video up there. We visited his workshop earlier this year and filmed him and saw it for ourselves exactly how he makes these beautiful glass creations. So these are made from mold, but normally he works from a glass blown process, which is just incredible. And I cannot testify enough how hot that workshop was. So yeah, a lot of work goes into that. He created and built his own ovens himself, which I just think is very forward thinking and very resourceful.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. So these are the pieces.
Yeah.
This actually reminds me of when I went to Venice, and they do a lot of the glass blowing as well.
Yeah. And he's very resourceful. He'll use old television screens, champagne bottles, Coca-Cola bottles, disregarded bottles basically.
Wow.
Here to his right we have some more Takura stools as well, made here in Ghana. And then this beautiful stool is made by an Ethiopian designer called Jomo Tariku of Jomo Furniture. It's based on the traditional Malian stool, the Dogon, hence its name. I think we're getting a taste of the beautiful work that African designers can do and produce.
It's true. We don't think a lot about what African designers do when it comes to interior design.
No, and often when you say design, they think fashion design, but this shows that it's broader than that. A beautiful creation by, it's called Interlude, by a Nigerian designer, textile designer called Yemi Awosile. And she plays a lot with fabrication, mark making, fabric dyeing, and she's very much a designer that uses her hands and craftsmanship and skill. And I just think this is a beautiful panel that works both well as an art piece, but could also be sampled for fabrication for other things. Here we have some more Cult Meraki stools, which are beautiful in their contrast of texture and colour. You can't talk about Ghanaian textiles and not talk about kente. So here we have the work of Bobo Aible, who is a kente master who has been weaving since he was 8 years old.
Since he was 8 years old.
Yes,
wow.
and we've done a workshop with him before where he did a live demonstration. I don't know if you know this, but kente is woven upside down. So at the weaver, you don't see the finish of it. You're working, basically imagining what's happening underneath, which I just think is a skill in itself. One piece of kente can take 2 people up to 4 weeks to make, so that just gives an impression of the work that goes into it. But it's somewhat of a, I wouldn't say a dying craft, but younger people aren't as keen to take it up because of the time involved. Kente is expensive, and that people maybe want to source quick money, so they go off to the city and leave these family-based skills and crafts which we want to preserve. So Africa by Design is all about that. And up there to your left is a beautiful Sissi Echo Esconce lamp.
This one here?
Yes, made from a brass finish by Studio Lani, based in Lagos. She works a lot with local craftsmen and artisans as well. And then I'm sure you've heard of Axe, right? The handbag.
Yes.
Mafia. So she was invited to do a collaboration with a refugee camp in Burkina Faso, and they created these beautiful collection of lampshades. Hand-woven, hand-dyed yarns, and we have some pictures in the background of some of the women that make them. I just think it's really important to give all kinds of people access to design, and we're cherishing skills and workmanship here. Now this is I briefly talked about Ghana Club's historic history.
Yes.
And this is some of a collection of the club's photographs, and they've had some very famous people through their doors. Louis Armstrong and his wife, Kwame Nkrumah was a friend of the club. This is where, when Ghana gained independence, the political elite were coming to discuss the future of Ghana, the Ghana that they envisaged. So, and in their midst is a Ghanaian textile artist, Nachin Kwarendo, who has used glass beads in a way that I think resonates with kente weaving. Door handles, door accessories made by some House of Oroju, Nigerian brothers who work between London and Nigeria. But again, the level of craftsmanship in their work.
I could see these being used on the door, or even a shower door, like these ones here.
And given the level of development that's going on in Ghana right now, for hotels and commercial projects and so on, and if we just go into our final room, we'll see some more Michael Tete vases. Michael has said before, sometimes he has in mind plans for a vase, but then it comes out the way that he hadn't planned, and those vases mean a lot more to him. So I think he's talking about vases like this, which has a very unique shape. His vases have been very popular. I think we've sold a number. There are still more to buy, so if anyone wants to come down, please do.
Oh, so you're selling these pieces here?
Yeah, they're available for sale. This one has also gone, the tall vases, and each one, because of they're handmade, each one is unique. So
nice.
It's been really nice having the exhibition here, because some people said I didn't know that Ghana Club existed.
Yeah,
so.
I didn't know either.
And
I didn't know
new
either.
members. So, yeah.
They're looking for new members?
Yeah, they want to diversify their membership. Traditionally it's like an old boys club, but they want to be part of the 2019 movement. So if you're interested, please come and see our exhibition. But also, who knows, maybe you want to be a member too.
Yes, yes. Lovely. Thank you for taking me through.
Thank you.
So I am at place, the Ghana Club. I did not even know this place existed until this Art Africa by Design exhibit happening right now. These are some pictures of some of the history and some of the people who've been through the doors of this Ghana Club. You see people like right here, Louis Armstrong, with former president of Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah. This is like fascinating. I didn't know that such a place existed here in Accra. It's amazing the gems that you find when there's different events happening. So just love sharing with you some of the different places, different things to see in Ghana. I know I've been doing mostly Accra. I do plan on expanding outside of Greater Accra so that you can see more that is in this wonderful country. So I've had a lovely day here at the Ghana Club. This place has a lot of history behind it, and from what I understand, there are potential plans to tear it down because of the Marine Drive project, which would be a travesty to lose a piece of history in Accra to tear this down. And from what I heard through conversation, there are petitions out there to try to save it, and I will sign it because I think this place really should be preserved because there's so much history in so many different places like this in Ghana that people don't seem to take seriously. I mean, this happens in a lot of countries where, you know, with modern development and projects that come up, they want to tear down the old to build the new. But I think that this is a place that really should be kept, and it would be an unfortunate situation if this was actually torn down. Being here today has really shown me another piece of Accra that I didn't know existed, and I love discovering these new places. So thanks for watching another episode of Your Guide on Ghana with Ivy. I'll see you again next time. So I have learned that this place is possibly on the list to be demolished for the purpose of the Marine Drive project. And I hope that doesn't happen because this is a historical place that is really important to keep in Ghana. One of the things that I think happens in a lot of cities is when you're trying to modernize or trying to move forward for the future, people forget that some of the historical places are just as important. When you think about cities that that have historical landmarks that people travel around the world to come and see, these things are really, really important. So I think that a place like this, it's important that we try to do what we can to save it. This place should not be demolished for the Marine Drive project. This is a gem. This has been here for a long time. And I think that we as Ghanaians, we as a people, as African people, we need to find a way to save places like this and not allow them to be taken down. So I am putting my voice out there saying that the Ghana Club should not be torn down because of the Marine Drive project. This should be saved.